Good evening, everyone. My name is Rachel Dilley. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Town Hall Group, and this is Town Hall TV. Tonight, we are delighted to welcome the amazing Mandy Taylor. Welcome, Mandy. Mandy is the Business Development Executive for Topic UK magazine, the Sales and Business Manager of Bibby's Restaurant, and the founder of Charity Angels. Mandy is also a brand ambassador for the Peace Hall and a trustee of the charity Focus for Hope. Mandy, you're an absolute powerhouse in the business community and inspiration to all of us here at Town Hall Group and Town Hall TV. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. You've been a long-time advocate for business women in Yorkshire. And as a businesswoman and mentor myself, I understand how important that is. What advice would you give to women who are looking to move up the career ladder and start their own business?
Thank you, Rachel. I would simply say, don't hold back. I'm speaking from a wealth of experience, being the old bird that I am now. I've worked in public sector, private sector, I've worked in charity, and I have run my own business too. And as a young girl, I always had a dream that I wanted to run my own business, and my parents were like, no, you come from a working class background, you have to go and work for the local council, it's flexi time, good money, you're going to train to be an accountant through them and get your education and further qualifications, and that's the route and path you have to follow. Women don't set up businesses. And how wrong they were and how times have actually changed since then. And I was very career-minded, and it wasn't until I'd had my little boy that I actually went into my own business itself and created a children's play gym not far away from Town Hall Dental, down in Halifax Town Centre. I deliberately, and probably wrongly, employed single mums. I mean, crikey, that was total inequality, isn't it now? But I was all about giving opportunity, allowing young ladies to come along and try a job out, try and get some self-worth, learn about business. And I always went the extra mile with them. And from that, I've always believed that we have the power within us to do whatever we want and not to listen to the naysayers, not to feel that because we're female that we can't go up that ladder or aim for that ambitious dream. In this generation that we find ourselves in now, there is so much opportunity out there. As you've said, you're a mentor and a very highly respected mentor too, as I have heard firsthand. But we've also got funding out there, government help and support and advice, lots of educational facilities available to us to tap into. And again, through my work, we have a magazine called Yorkshire Businesswoman, which is dedicated to the professional women of Yorkshire. And we encourage them to facilitate good business, to talk to each other, to collaborate, to share good practice, and not be quiet about what we do. Let's shout out loudly. Let's do this big. So yes, go for it is my advice.
Fantastic, Mandy, as always. I think, obviously, in business, it is a hard path, especially if you want your own business. And just going back to what we were saying, obviously, about lone parents, if you could just explain a little bit about when you're giving opportunities to other people, which is so important, what does that mean to you?
Absolutely, it means the world to me. At that point in time, I was a single parent when I was running my own business with a 2-year-old. And it's just vital because the parents that are out there, lone, single parents, male, female, but we are talking about females now, the women, they have so much skill, so much enthusiasm, so much talent, but possibly just not the confidence. They've lost their way slightly in life of some of these women. They've been told that they're not good enough. They've expected that they're going to have to now stay at home to bring up their family. And we should give them the opportunities because we will be amazed by the talent that we find.
Thank you so much. Obviously, CSR is something that's incredibly important to myself and here at Town Hall Group. The work that you do in charity is just phenomenal. Just tell us a little bit about what's motivated you over the years for your incredible commitment to CSR.
It started out way back in 2004, to be honest with you, when I noticed in the press that there was going to be a public meeting looking for volunteers to help a charity that was trying to form a children's hospice in Huddersfield. And I thought, you know, I'm not giving enough back to life. I didn't feel like I was fulfilling my purpose. So I went along to the meeting. At the end of the meeting, I learnt that they needed to raise at least £2 million to build a hospice for the children of Kirklees and Calderdale, and they only had 300,000 in the bank. So I put my hand up and said, I'll help. I'll bake some buns, I'll car wash, whatever you need me to do, I'll help. Little did I realise on that day in 2004 that 4 years later, I'd be stood in front of a planning committee appealing for a plot of land in Huddersfield with £2 million in the bank, a fully fledged charity, thousands of volunteers, and families and children all eagerly awaiting this hospice. I learnt on the job about CSR, charity, how to fundraise, and I was delighted when we were given the planning permission, and I'm delighted to say that the hospice still runs, it's still there, it's still making a huge difference to so many children every year. I did move on because I'd fulfilled my ambition at that point, which was just to get the land and get the money. And then I took CSR with me wherever I travelled. And what motivated me was seeing the joy and fulfilment that it gave to people, not just to the recipient of the good deed that the business or the person did, but the morale of my teams that I worked with, because they all jumped on board. They all learnt more about themselves, about their colleagues, and about the good causes that we're helping. Corporate social responsibility is a responsibility, in my opinion, that all businesses should embrace. Different scales, different levels, I agree. Not all have the time or skill or commitment, but they've all got something that they can give and build on. And I think from a company's reputation standing, those with a good CSR policy are the ones that do shine out the most.
Oh, I mean, Mandy, it's just an incredible story. Thank you so much for everything, you know, that you've done. Now, I know that you've got your own charity called Charity Angels. Just tell us a little bit more about Charity Angels. You know, what inspired you? What are your plans for the future? How does it make you feel?
Sure. Now, you term it as a charity, and understandably so, because it is called the Charity Angels. But actually, it's not a charity at all. It's an organisation that helps charities, non-discriminatory. It doesn't matter which charity it is, where it is, if we can help, we will help. And how that was formed was quite tragic, really. It was formed in 2011 when I was diagnosed with my first of 3 cancers. So in 2011, I was told that my prognosis wasn't great and the chances of survival, well, there was a risk factor. I wanted to leave behind a legacy. I wanted to make certain that the good work I'd done in Yorkshire for charities and all could be continued by others. So I put an appeal out onto social media, so asking for would-be angels, as I called them. Angels could be individuals, could be businesses, all with a desire to make a difference, all with a skill, all with a talent and goodwill, but none needed a checkbook. It wasn't about giving money. It was about giving themselves freely. I was absolutely astounded. The feedback, the response I got instantaneously was super, and instantly I had a huge group of angels all wanting to help. Some had different reasons and different drivers, and I did have to filter through those, but I was only doing that for due diligence purpose. We then decided we'd like to organise an event, and we chose Forget Me Not Children's Hospice because of my past links to the charity. We said we'd start small, but those that know me well know I don't do small. And we did a children's hospice fashion show. We aimed to have about 50 people in the room and had 250. We aimed to have a handful of models and ended up with 82. And those 82 models were from all backgrounds, all races, all abilities. We had somebody in a wheelchair. We had somebody on crutches. It didn't matter. It was all about giving back. We wanted to raise a few £100. We raised thousands. And so the event happened. Moving on from that, a decade later, some of the angels have gone, some have been replaced. It's all about dipping in, dipping out, giving what you can when you can. Whereas myself, as Archangel, despite all my health conditions and illnesses, I've kept going for the last 10 years. So anybody that puts a call in, will you, for example, with Focus for Hope, with their minibus, will you come and officially open the minibus and launch it? That was something I did. I'll host dinners, I'll auctioneer, I'll climb mountains, I'll jump out of aeroplanes. I'll just give me and give what I can when I can.
I mean, your journey has just been absolutely fantastic. I think you're the biggest angel with the biggest heart, and you know, long may the success continue. I mean, over your career, both in business and in charity, you've done so much to, you know, uplift others. You know, within Yorkshire. What is your gift? Because you have so many gifts to give to others. What would you say is your biggest gift?
Oh my words, I've never ever been asked that question before. That's a really hard one to answer. I would just say that I wake up every morning with a smile and with a purpose, and I seek joy in every day. And if I can pass that on to other people, yes, there's lots of misery in the world. We've had a terrible, terrible time, we really have. But let's not focus on the negatives. Let's now focus on the positives. Let's go and look for something each and every day that can make not only ourselves, but more importantly, somebody else happy. Some random act of kindness, a quick phone call that isn't to be expected. It's just within me, Rachel. It's just within my DNA.
Well, I know that I have a nickname for you, so I call you Mrs. Sparkle, because you certainly bring joy and sparkle to everybody that you meet. Lastly, what has been the highlight of your career? You know, what has been the highlight of your year? Just tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's been a challenging year, to be honest with you, and a shorter year than I would normally have, because I always have 25 hours in a day and 8 days in a week. And sadly, in April, when I was diagnosed with quite a serious and rare cancer, which is stage 4, everything came to a halt. And I thought, oh my words, we've just come out of lockdown, I'm just about to flourish, and all of a sudden I'm having chemotherapy and radiotherapy. What can I aim for? What can I give myself a goal to achieve? So I would say the highlight of my year was when I was taken in for chemotherapy, I made it categorically clear to the fabulous team at St James's that I needed to be on stage by the 7th of August of this year. And they shook their head and said, there's not a hope that you're going to be anywhere, Mrs., apart from in bed, recovering from fatigue, hair loss, appetite loss and everything else. And I said, no, you don't know me. I need to achieve this. And the highlight, yes, as we stand today, was on the 7th of August, despite the pouring down rain and the recreation of Glastonbury, I was up at Hipper Home at an event you personally know well because your business and charity support it so incredibly well too, which is Broadstock. It's a not-for-profit organisation. It's a team of volunteers, forgive me, who all club together every year, over 100 volunteers, to deliver an award-winning family music festival with bands that perform from midday till 10 p.m. at night, and thousands upon thousands of people come along, all to raise money for good causes. And my role on the day is just to be on the stage, to gel it together, to encourage people to give, to support the bands, and to have a boogie. And yeah, I did it. I didn't think I would, but I didn't want to let the team down.
So I was lucky enough to obviously witness you being at Broadstock. Absolutely phenomenal. Your strength was phenomenal. Got to see your little dressing room, and you just, you know, shine. Without going too much into your cancer, because that's not what this is about, and I know that's not who you are. The whole community sees Mandy Taylor as heart, and that's what you are. To me, you're one of my best friends. It's a joy to just witness, and you certainly shine and you certainly sparkle. So thank you so much for joining us, Mandy. It's been an absolute pleasure. This has been Town Hall TV. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.